Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, most amazing, beautiful viewers. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I am so glad you found me, and if you're returning, welcome, welcome. I'm so blessed to be doing your reading yet again today. This reading, I have a feeling, might be a little challenging here for me, but I'm willing to communicate exactly as I see this. Now, if this is not resonating for you, doesn't make sense, is a word salad to you, then definitely not your reading, and maybe you need to develop your intuition a little bit more to see what resonates for you and what doesn't. I cannot do this for you. That's solely up to you and only you. Only you know what resonates for you. If it doesn't resonate for you, then it doesn't resonate for you. Maybe there's other readers, other readings, or maybe you're not ready to dive into whatever it is that we're looking at here. Okay, so that's going to be between you and spirit. All I'm doing is reading cards, reading energy, and tapped into the divine here to communicate what it is needing to be communicated for these four different frequencies of energy. Okay, so we're looking at most likely the person, connection on your mind, and what exactly is this trying to show you? What are you trying to learn from this person, or why is it that you're experiencing what you are? Now, for some of you guys, this might be just a situation. Overall, maybe not necessarily a certain person, okay, but it's up to you. However this resonates for you, but it is, what are you healing through this experience, or what it is that you're understanding through this experience with this person. As we know, people are the best mirrors, okay, at reflecting back to us certain things in the subconscious. So we're going to see if we can get more of a practical sort of look at what it is that we're getting closer to understanding. Although overall, every experience is one in which we're understanding our own divinity, which is coming closer to God. Okay, so when you boil it down to that, what's going to make you heal so that you see your own divinity and become one with God. Okay, so for those of you guys who needed that answer, there's your reading. For those of you guys looking for a little bit more in-depth information, then you might want to see which one of these four piles is resonating for you, okay, or four objects. Option one, we have the rose quartz. You'll hold this up so you guys can take a look. This beautiful stone. Okay, option number two, we have the piece of shungite with the carved tree of life. Option number two, we have the jasper. So the white jasper stone glows in the dark. And for option number three, we have the glass paperweight with the trapped air bubbles. All right, so sit with this energy, beautiful people. I'll put the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment below. This might be a lengthy reading, so grab your water, your tea, and I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, hello, gorgeous. Pile number one, you guys picked the rose quartz sphere. And we're looking at what it is that's being shown back to you in this connection with this said person or the situation or the circumstance. What is it that you're being shown to learn from or heal from specifically? Okay, so if you missed the intro message, you might want to go back there, because it's going to lay out what we're about to see here. Okay, so the grand overall reason why we experience what we do is to see our true divinity, bring us closer to God. That's ultimately it when you boil it all down. Okay, but we're going to see if we can see specifics here, why this person or situation, and use your intuition to see if this resonates for you. Only you can do this. If it doesn't make sense to you, not your reading. I can't do anything about your own intuition, your own connection to spirit. That's up to you, and I really don't care. I'm just reading cards and energy. Okay, so do what you will with that, but here is pile number one. So surrender the idea you can fix someone. So it's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. Wow. The pink is all about self-love. Unconditional love. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Beautiful purples. We have men. Wow. Okay. So not just masculine energy. We have multiple men. Plural. Okay. Ooh. And then we have this breastfeeding mother. Kind of the opposite of that. This is nurturing. Feminine energy. Nurturing feminine energy with men. Okay. We have dancer of reconciliation. All right. And then we have the androgyne, which is neither masculine nor feminine and no label. Okay. So we have 62 or the number 8. So interesting. We have both the masculine and feminine, and here we have the neither, or the unlabeled, ungendered. Okay, and then we have open up, number 4. 4 is all about structure, foundation, stability, planning. It's also emperor energy, so more masculine energy. Open up. Okay, and then we have root. Really interesting body position. Here we have in a balanced position with our hands touching, and here our arms are open. It's a very grounded sort of position. And this would be more open here. Open up. Okay. Masculine and feminine energy. We see the sun and the moon. Okay, and we have the mountain. Mountain's very fixed. Could be an obstacle, something difficult to overcome or seem surmountable, insurmountable. 27, or the number 9. 9 is hermit energy, Virgo energy, Eros. Wow, okay. 71, or the number 8. So lots of potentially erotic energy pulling through here. Sexuality, desires, passions. We have the wolf, lone wolf, loyal family wolf, wolf pack. We have Uranus, Pluto, 61, or the number 7. And we have Neptune, Pluto. Wow, 2 Pluto was 63, or the number 9 again. And we also have rebirth here with the number 10. And we have the lion. And we're getting with the number 8, which I believe was, 71, number 8. So strength pulling through, Leo energy. Could be ego. Also sun energy with men, with masculine, with the Leo here. We have a camel, endurance. A rebirth could certainly be death card in the tarot, which is Pluto energy, Scorpio energy. Let's take a look at these two in the book, shall we? Because it was like the brief descriptor here and the different sort of primitive, adaptive and evolving states of these cards. So 61, it says, in the primitive state, you are a personal wrecking ball. You show its true moral courage is on a daily basis, and adaptive and evolving. You are the one who lays down your self-interests and risks your life to uplift the masses. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then 63 with Neptune, Pluto. It says, primitive, you are drowning in delusions of addictive power. Adaptive, you are showing everyone what powerful sacrifice means in terms of raising consciousness. And evolving, you are the Buddhista and have realized the impermanence of life. You model unconditional regard for every moment and every person. Okay. Let me sit here with this energy. And we'll tap into this message, all right? Okie dokie. Yeah, these readings are going to be a little bit difficult. Could be triggering for you. If they're triggering and it's not the time to listen to this, you can come back to this. Okay, so you'll have to determine which one's your energy here, because part of this was, why has someone specifically been introduced into your world, okay, or a situation. I'm feeling two energies here, most likely a person you've been introduced to, and this person seems very irritating here to you. Okay, very irritating. And part of the irritation here is because we can't control maybe this person, you know, and I feel like the deep-rooted sort of energy, I'm going to read you as this person who's trying to work with someone here who seems a little unruly, you know, and so obviously when we engage with people, they have their karmas, we have ours. So this person has their own sort of karmas, okay, their own sort of lessons here. And I feel like it was pretty much described in the astrology oracle cards in sort of more the primitive state here, you know, someone who doesn't really regard others so much. You're really an ego, okay, and it could certainly be in regards to how they engage sexually here. You know, I go after my passions, my desires, what it is I want. So it could be somebody who is in sort of I don't know, like just taking, you know, taking what they want from others in maybe a physical way or a sexual way here. Very much in their own immediate gratification, and potentially specifically when it comes to how they express themselves sexually, physically. And so you could be on the flip side of this, you know. So what is it that we're learning here and healing here? Well, we're learning and healing here that someone else's karma, someone else's way of being is, we can't do anything about this. It is unmovable here, okay? Unmovable, because no matter which way we engage, this person has their own karmas and they have their own lessons of learning what they need to learn. So we're learning to not to judge, okay, essentially at the end of the day, and not to take it personal as a reflection of something that this person has done to you, okay, and to understand that regardless of however you engage with this person, it is not really a reflection of like you can't get this person to act in a different way other than the way that they're sort of intended to act here, and they're playing out their karmas, they're playing out their experiences. They have to flesh out anything here that they have to, okay. So I feel like you and this person could have potentially been at something for quite some time, okay. I see perseverance here in this camel, and so it could be very exhausting, or maybe you're not sure how to engage with this person. It's like, how can I nurture this person, you know, when this person clearly is either doing something very destructive to themselves? And how can I accept maybe this person, you know, and get past any judgments or see their point of view here? And so this is what you're learning, like understanding. And this doesn't mean accepting that their point of view is right. This is just understanding and seeing another perspective. All perspectives are true from that relative perspective. So if we live the exact life this person did and walked in their shoes, we would see things in the exact same way and fulfill exact same karmas and do the exact same thing. Okay, so from this perspective, from this way of seeing it, all perspectives are true, okay, in God's universe here. So this person's perspective is true to them. That's relative to what it is that they're engaged with. Okay, and so your perspective is true based on your own experience of, you know, what you were accumulated to believe and see. So if this person was in your shoes, they would most likely be in the exact same understanding that you have of themselves. Okay, not most likely, it's true. That is exactly the truth, that they would have the exact same perspective. So what are we learning then? Well, we're learning a way to cope with other people's perspectives and other people's ways of being, and allow them to just be, because this is a reflection of our own self-love. So when we judge another, or when we see fault out there, there is something unhealed from within us. Okay, and so I feel like the unhealed part of self here is trying to fix someone's way of being. But really, the point here is to go within and to find part of self here that we might be judging or silencing or shoving down into the subconscious. So the way to spiritually balance this would be to hold the perspective of this person in neither good nor bad in our mind and our energy field, so we can depolarize this sort of energy, because what we resist strengthens that energy charge. Okay, so if we're have an aversion to something, if we're against something, it creates this polarization. And we see this every day in politics and war and everywhere else. Okay, so what you resist persists, what you fight strengthens, and so therefore this person's way of being is wrong. It's not right. I need to be healed or see the way or whatever here, but no. Okay, no, they don't. They just need to be themselves. What we need to do is not create labels or judgments or pass judgment here on what we think is right or wrong. In the eyes of God, everything is. It just is. Okay, there is no right or wrong. Now, of course, the universe is in positive polarity, okay, absolutely perfect and pure. And so here on earth, we have duality, the dark, the light, the masculine, the feminine, and we have that polarization in order to see the contrast, or else we couldn't be able to identify without the spectrum. Okay, so the spectrum is here in order to provide the contrast, but like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, when we are on this journey of spirituality, it is always about ascension and how we can get closer to our divinity and understanding our divinity. And so if we see the divinity in others, we see the divinity in self. If we see judgment, if we pass judgment and see fault in others, then we have it in self. Okay, so I feel like we might be dealing with someone here who really only sort of does things for their own sort of selfish need or desire. And so we might be trying to tame this person, or feel like we're nurturing this person to health, or we're doing something here. So it could be that we have an unhealthy pattern here when it comes to relationship towards masculine energy. Okay, so we carry this perception or this understanding of masculine energy that isn't healthy, And so through this lesson, we're having to heal and nurture this part of self that neither what we think is right or wrong is either right or wrong. It just is in the universe of God here, okay? And so we have to go within to do some spiritual balancing and really take a look at self and understand self and know self. So if I feel emotionally charged here about something, then there's something that needs to be looked at within self that I need to transmute. I need to understand why this energy is sitting where it's sitting, the way it's sitting within me, by observing my actions towards this person or how I engage with this person, because it has nothing to do with how this person is acting so much, because this person has their own sort of script, if you will, of what they need to do or say. So this is like a thing of opposites attract, There could be very intense sort of passionate energy, pulling these two together, you and this person in the situation. And we are learning to not cast judgment, to see all perspectives. And so with this dance or reconciliation, we might be in periods of holding non-forgive, or we need to forgive. Now, we don't need to do anything, but When we don't, we only hold ourselves in the prison of the mind. Okay, so if we don't forgive, and again, forgiving doesn't mean I agree with what this person does or what they're doing. It's I understand this person's perspective to be true from their relative truth and their experience. Because if I were this person and had the exact same upbringing and the exact same karmas and situation, I would be the exact same position as this person and carry the exact same beliefs. So they are true in their relative truth and their perceived reality, just as I am true in my perceived reality. And there's nothing that I'm going to do here in order to change this person's perception so much, you know? And so I feel like there is something here about having to forgive and understand this and not label this in order to heal something that goes much deeper, because we might be carrying this with multiple relationships, not just necessarily this one. You know, well, there's a relationship here when it comes to sex, when it comes to masculine energy. Is it healthy? Are we able to nurture ourselves? You know, something's unhealthy here, how we perceive sex, okay? Or sexuality in the opposite sex. And so there is a need to not compartmentalize or cast judgment or label anything as anything other than the universe, God, expressing itself through every sort of facet. You know, God expresses itself through every single facet, through the spectrum. It's neither good nor bad. It is God revealing itself to itself so it could find itself and get closer to God and its divinity. So we feel stuck here, and the only reason we feel stuck is because I feel like we're still trying to do something, convince someone, or we're still seeing something in a certain way by casting judgment or putting them in a label or have a fixed idea of what we think is right. And so we need to bring it back to self. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1. We have 6 swords. I don't know if I flipped that one around, but that was very natural here. So it's getting out of the 5 swords here, okay, which we were seeing with the reconciliation. So we think, okay, this person is impossible to get along with, or I had a 5 sword situation. And so Spirit is saying, like, in order for us to get out of any 5 swords, we have to get on the ship and move forward. It's a slow process here, okay, but I feel like this is the true liberation that we need. So if we hold resentment or contempt or judgment, we stay fixed in our own prison, okay? Because let's say this person, which I doubt, but let's just say this person moves on, okay? Let's say they move on and they just continue on their merry way. I feel like there's 2 lessons being learned here for sure, okay? But let's just say they move on. The only person who's going to be suffering here is you in your own prison and your own thought process, repeating this potentially with other connections, because we're still seeking something out there that needs to be in a way that we've perceived it to be right. And so we're not moving out of 5 swords. We stay in this perpetual 5 swords. So this person, I do feel, is learning about this as well, and seeing this in self, you know, because this is a reflection of our own self-worth. Maybe I'm only worthy of the physical and I'm not worthy of deep sort of connection here. You know, I don't know. I haven't dived in deep to this energy, but I do see your lesson here. Okay. So we have 5 swords in reverse. Yeah, we persistently, you know, can stay in a state here that perpetuates separation consciousness by saying this person is wrong and I am right. This person is not doing something right, you know, by whose means. So the Emperor in reverse. And this Emperor looks kind of devilly with the shadow, with the horns. So we're dealing with unhealthy divine masculine energy in the shadow, you know. So this could be fuckboy energy here, okay? And so we see men here, we see reverse Emperor. So how do we deal with fuckboys? Maybe it is that we're always in constant connections with fuckboys or something, okay? And I don't even use this term, but it's coming through here, you know, as something, and this could be the label that we're seeing, that there is some category here of man or masculine energy that we're keeping alive. in our conceptual understanding of it. Okay, but we need to really tap into a certain part of us that is feeding this sort of concept and understanding that everyone has a divinity, but they might hold a lot of shadow or experience that manifests in a different way. And so we experience the manifestation of this person's unhealthy ways being expressed. Okay, so how are we intaking this? Because I feel like we charge this energy and perpetuate this energy with our belief system rather than navigate out of this sort of energy, you know. So we might have an unhealthy masculine energy that's sort of projecting this understanding of what masculine energy should be or shouldn't be. And we need to examine this on the moon. So we need to get out of our own illusion. We're not seeing clearly masculine energy here in the full spectrum. Okay. And so I think the big question here is going within will reveal something to us rather than our perceived, I don't know, judgment or perceived story of how we're seeing the masculine energy in our world or around us. One more for this and then we'll ask for some. We're not seeing clearly, and then the Knight of Wands in reverse. So I think we have an unhealthy way of expressing and seeing masculine energy here that we need to get clear about in order for us to allow ourselves to experience passion in a healthy way, sex in a healthy way, desire in a healthy way. I think we have an unhealthy way of what that means, and it's causing conflict with us and people around us. So we need to look at that. Maybe we think, I don't know, maybe we carry shame about sex, you know, maybe we have certain beliefs that were fed to us that are very fixed in our own thought process here about how to, I don't know, how to give sex or how to engage sexually or what the masculine role is or how we need to provide sexually. Like, I feel there's a lot of that sort of energy here sitting in this, okay? Lots in the shadow. So let's see. Spirit guidance and advice then for pile one. What is the guidance here? Rather than just reviewing their own sort of ideas and understanding of how they see masculine energy. I think there's a need to nurture your own masculine energy, to embrace the sexual side of you. You know, maybe we've shoved it in the shadow. It's not healthy. It's shameful. It's not good. And so now this shadow self cries out. It wants to be recognized because we are all aspects of the divine, okay, including the sexual side. And so if we suppress, avoid, deny, or repress any part of their sexuality, and then we start to project it, you know, but it's crying to be seen, integrated. So the best way to do spiritual balancing and integration is to sit in the opposite sort of perspective that we hold and feel it out, you know, and feel it out so we can depolarize that energy. Because when we are so resistant, it strengthens that concept. Okay, so we want to integrate this and come to understand our perception about this and why it's as charged as it is, so that we can find some depolarization, because it's very energetically charged right now and it creates a lot of tension, challenge. Ancestor Spirit, card number 22. So this is after the World card, special to this deck. And so Ancestor Spirit could be generational traumas, you know, things that have been handed down to us. And maybe it was the way we were brought up in our immediate family circle, you know, to understand masculine energy in one way, or men in one sort of light and women in another. Women are nurturing and men are sexual in some way here, okay? But that's a very black and white way of seeing something and labeling something and understanding it. And then it manifests and projects in different ways here. So let's see, advice, guidance here for pile number 1. So we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. So we're limiting our potential here with future happiness and carrying this belief. So this might be a motivating driver for us to spend more time reflecting, getting grounded and understanding when we're in judgment. 9 Cups, emotional happiness. So we could be forfeiting, you know, any deep connection here that could come together to provide a 10 Cups. And to be in an energy here where we might be going it alone in some way, or not allowed to let a connection get any deeper so that it stays at an arm's distance here, because the 9 is all about self. The 10 is about 2 beings coming together. And so if we carry this belief and it's being projected, and then we can never really experience with 2. We stay sort of in this 1 energy, and this could certainly be the person we're sort of dealing with here, you know, this immediate gratification versus the 10 Cups. And so I think the mirroring here is this person could have generational traumas of, I have to sort of do it alone here. You know, I got to do it alone here. And so what makes me sort of immediately happy here and not consider ultimate happiness here with another? So it's learned over time. The Knight of Swords in reverse. So I run and I don't confront these shadows, or I don't confront what I need to, because Knight of Swords in reverse is not wanting to confront or see, because we don't want to challenge. So we run, or we just pull away or block. Page of Swords. We don't see, we don't understand. We don't spend time understanding, and just sort of in program mode. And the King of Wands in reverse, and the Queen of Cups. So this is the dynamic we see here. Someone's in Queen of Cups energy, potentially. Okay, this is this divine feminine with this nurturing mother energy, giving, okay, giving, compassion, emotions. And then we have this King Wands energy, which is more of like this self-focused. You know, what can I attain? Conquering what I need to in order to attain and achieve what I want. And so this person that's conquering and achieving what they want is going to reach a state here of understanding that the 9 Cups is not the 10 Cups. And so in the shadow attribute of the 9 Cups, it becomes very lonely here. You know, it becomes lonely. So this person's not seeing this or understanding this, and what's been sort of built over time. Okay, through trauma. And so the other person I feel here, which I was reading as yourself, is learning about how to give unconditional love without personalizing any sort of actions this person is taking in their life, and reflecting it back to the unhealthy part of self that thinks that, you know, carries a belief that this person is doing something wrong, or that they themselves don't carry this aspect within them, because they sure do. They have an unhealthy connection within themselves with how they view maybe sexuality, you know, or at least they need to come to terms with understanding why this person is sort of in where they're at without feeling any sort of pull at their emotion. Okay, this is spiritual balancing. When we feel aversion, when we feel energetically charged, our emotions are pulled because of someone else's actions, then we haven't found peace. We haven't found balance within self. And we still carry some judgment. And so this person's learning about releasing judgment so the true unconditional love can be reflected regardless of what this person does. We see the divinity. And so the answer here is about self-love. Because if we truly love self and see self and self's divinity, and we accept self fully, even as a sexual being inside of us somewhere here, then we don't feel like we need to defend anything or change anything about anyone else. Okay, so it really becomes, what is it that I see out there that I feel needs changing, is because there's something within me that I need to accept. Okay, because for 1 minute, don't forget that if you were in this person's karma situation, living their life, you would be doing the exact same thing here. Okay, and so this is what these two people are sort of understanding. So this was a very interesting reading, you guys. I know this ain't for everyone, and it's kind of triggering here, but we could be dealing with someone here who's, like I said, in that energy, and we're seeing them as a playboy, you know, or like I said, a fuckboy or something here, or just getting immediate gratification in the sexual pleasures. And it's like we understand a different aspect, you know, we see things completely differently here. Maybe we're more spiritual, or maybe we're in this sort of an energy, but it's like, okay, well, how do we integrate this part of self, okay, without us trying to feel like we need to do or fix or change someone, or that they're wrong and that we're right and how we're doing things. It's more like understanding that this is going on here in order for us to accept everything and just as it is, as God's children, as God's creation. Okay, we don't need to do anything here. So, pile 1, this is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2, you guys picked the Shungite carving of the Tree of Life. Absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look at what is this connection, this person mirroring back to you. What is it that's being healed or being understood through your interaction with this person, or just with this situation? If it's not a person, then what is it exactly that we're learning about this? Okay, so trigger warning. Okay, if you're not ready to hear this, then most likely not your time, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, so if it doesn't make sense, not your pile. Okay, I'm just reading the energy that comes through here and reading cards. So if it doesn't make sense to you, then you can go check out another pile, or just not your reading. Don't force it to fit, okay? So, first card, surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. I have retreat. And we have this 1970s washroom. If you guys remember that reading I did not too long ago with this card. It's absolutely hilarious. For me, anyway. 1970s washroom. Look at that. That's what it looks like. There's water in the tub, which I didn't notice before. Water in the tub. Well, water is emotions. Water could be cleansing. Tub is a container. Ancestor of knowing. Wow, that's profound. It's like an owl. And we have resin number 38, or the number 11 with resin. And then we have trust, Fool energy here with the 0. 0 is about infinite potential, a new beginning. Blind trust. We have home. This looks like somebody who's restricted here, or confined, limited space. Home. We have cherries, which could be about a relationship, you know, something sweet. Partnership. Number 10. 10 is all about completion, end of cycle. Wheel of Fortune. This could be divine intervention, divine guidance. We have the dead end with the number 60. Or the number 6, which could be lovers, Gemini energy, Aquarius energy. And we have the moose. This be something larger than life here. Looks like we have moose antlers here as well. Maybe not. Use more deer antler. I don't know. But antlers could be representing the masculine energy. And we have Venus, Saturn. Let's just read what this is all about here with the Venus, Saturn. 32. So in this primitive state, it says you make rigid rules that block spontaneous love from your life. Adaptive, you are trustworthy and consistent in love, and others admire your loyalty. And evolving, you have learned to create more love from the pain and loss of limitation. Having endured loss, you stand as a true authority on love. And here we have patience with it looks like the Empress energy. She's pregnant here. Okay, and we see all the phases of the moon, which could talk about perseverance or even the length of time for something here. Number 7. 7 could be Chariot energy, Cancer, integration of shadow. movement, success, victory with 7. 7's also about faith, wisdom, reflection, and understanding. Okay, this message is coming through clearly here, okay? So let me just sit here, though, with this energy before we tap into tarot. Okay, I'm only getting one energy here. I was kind of scared after I did pile 1 that these were going to be tricky, you know? This one doesn't seem very tricky, but this could be someone you're dealing with, and maybe not necessarily your energy. You'll have to determine what's what here. I'm going to read this as your energy, okay? You've been hurt in the past, something difficult to move from. And so if we don't have a vivid memory of being hurt, okay, if we don't really remember the exact moment, there's something within us that's really hurting here, okay? And it's created this reaction when people start to get close, specifically when it comes to, I think, relationships for sure, but we are in relationship with everyone and everything. It could mean an intimate relationship here, okay, or partnership. And so we become in an energy that isn't potentially committed or can make decisions that are in a healthy alignment with what we want. So we could pull away here with the retreat. You know, we can have this avoidant, dismissive energy, or just avoidant altogether, because this is a form of sabotage. Because inside there is a knowing, and this is what we're learning, is the knowing that we are worthy of love. We are worthy of experiencing love, and that whatever we experienced in the past is something we'll have to let go of or make peace with, or understand that it has no reflection of what we deserve today and right here, right now, in the present moment. So whatever's happened in the past has reflected to us maybe what we think we're worthy of or worthy of experiencing, only because we have a stuck, fragmented understanding or trauma. Okay, I feel this is more of a trauma, and all the trauma is an integrated part that of an energy block within us that needs to be integrated. Okay, and so when we are in connection, we might get to a certain point where we feel we can't know more, or we can't connect or bond anymore, and this is a big, big obstacle getting in the way of us bonding and connecting. And so we can't get deep, or we can't experience relationship, or we can't commit, or we can't get serious, and so it keeps things very superficial. We feel maybe very closed in by relationship, you know, or the more we're sort of showered with love or given love, we feel maybe overwhelmed or smothered, or it's like we don't know how to deal with this thing, okay? And so I feel like we're needing to learn about patience of self, and we're needing to understand how to integrate the unhealthy parts here, okay? And take a look at anything here that's traumaed and experience that has happened in the past that's still sort of in that same state. And so the mind of someone like this could sound a lot like, I can't believe, you know, I was hurt in this way, and every relationship ends in hurt. And so if we carry this belief, we don't ever go back to review it and say, in this situation that I experienced this hurt, it was a set of circumstances specific to that, and maybe that person wasn't intending on hurting me, but we haven't reviewed it. And so we just carry that experience as it happened to us, carrying that thought untouched, the same belief. So the belief we carry here is an unhealthy belief or understanding, and it's untouched with how it impacted us. So if we are carrying the divorce of, let's say, our parents, it's still untouched. We still haven't made peace with this. Now as an adult, saying, well, I can understand how maybe, you know, I needed the support of both parents when I was younger, and thinking that they had to stay together forever. But I can see, or at least understand, that when two adults aren't getting along, sometimes it is for the best that they are not staying together here, because it makes the most sense. And so my parents did the best that they could do, but I'm reviewing it now from a different perspective. But I feel like this energy is one that's carrying the hurt of whatever happened, or mindset in that whatever unfolded, in the same fashion, hitting the same wall, you know, and the same wall in their life is keeping relationship at a distance, or running every time something hits a certain point. And so I feel like this energy wants to experience sweetness. Of course they do. There's a knowing here, because we're all divine beings. The inner knowing is, I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of tapping into a very deep, deep sharing, giving, and receiving here with others, okay, in relationship. I am worthy. This is my birthright. And so the more I sort of am stuck in this trauma, the more I don't experience this, the more I get upset and hurt, and maybe bitter and resentful, or maybe I start to see it more in other people, and I start to not like relationships I see that are projecting, that are appearing a certain way. And then I project my own unhealthy understanding of what relationship is onto that, So I have one understanding of what marriage means potentially here, or what monogamy means, or just getting close means, or commitment means, or, something like this. And so I run from it. I don't look at it. I pull away, and maybe I can't, I just feel like I can't decide or be committed for my greatest good here, rather than trusting in the situation that I'm experiencing here is all very unique and different. Okay, every moment of every day is very unique and different. And so this is why we cannot carry one sort of judgment or understanding, and this is why I can go on about morality. What is moral? Well, it just depends on this present moment and what the circumstance is, because we could say it's immoral, or, to, I don't know, like you do something like kill someone. Okay, well, what if someone has a gun to your head, or to your child, and you had no other choice but to, in your position where the gun was situated, but to take another's life? Like, what's moral? Okay, so we can't pass judgment here, but my point being here is that every situation requires a new set of engaging with responsive energy of an inner knowing in the heart, not projecting past experiences and pains and interjecting them into this moment. And so this requires us to be baggage free, and to trust the divine, and to trust that we're divine beings that are worthy of love, and not feel suffocated or overwhelmed here by feeling loved or welcomed or embraced. So I feel like this is what this energy is learning about, in this situation or this connection. How to let go of traumas that are still dictating this person's behaviors and connection, by pulling away, retreating, and not connecting, and sabotaging, And so this is a relationship with self. It's like I have an unhealthy relationship with myself because of the fact of something that's happened to me that gave me an unhealthy understanding of what relationship means. And so I'm blocking my birthright. I'm blocking a deeper knowing that I am worthy of deep love here, and experiencing deep love, and transmuting this pain so that I could still love, I could still be available, I could still commit, I could still do these things that allow me to experience love in this present moment. If it's in front of me and presenting itself as an opportunity, why would I reject it? Why would I deny it? Why would I avoid it? Why would I not be able to dedicate myself to something here which makes me feel good? Makes me feel good. So I don't know, it could be at the cost of having a family, birthing something in our world here. Okay, so Ten of Wands, the heavy burden we carry. So the heavy burden we carry is allowing ourselves to pursue something more committed here with this King of Pentacles. Okay, reliable, committed, look more antlers. So I feel masculine energy, what I said with the card layout here with the antlers. Like I feel like we're avoiding maybe being in solid, reliable, masculine energy. Provider, commitment, and pursuing something like this, knowing that we're worthy of creating our own legacy here, and pursuing what feels good to us without carrying the burden of the fear or what ifs and the sabotage and the experience of the past that shuts it out. So here's strength, the courage to face this. Okay, this is also ego. So we have a part of our ego that might not want to be bruised or to be addressed here. Leo energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, King of Swords in reverse. So it can be very, very sort of cold here on the Six of Cups in reverse. So a childhood trauma that's happened in our childhood or in our past life or something here that needs to be resolved, you know. And it could be, like I said, a divorce or unhealthy relationship of the past. I experienced pains and sufferings as a child, or witnessing connection, witnessing marriage, witnessing relationship, and it's stuck in my mind. It's stuck in this unhealthy way of me carrying it, and so it's getting in the way of me following and pursuing what I could build upon, what could be reliable and steady, like commitment here, you know. And so I feel like this energy could be someone who doesn't know how to express, doesn't know how to take action because of fear, okay, and because ego gets in the way, and they're trying to protect themselves. So they're not very communicative here. And it's all stemmed from this block, this trauma. So haven't expressed anything, or haven't, yeah, it could be very cold as well. You know, this is the burden this person's carrying. So the only person they're traumaing is themselves. So they're trying to prevent some sort of trauma, but all they're really doing is perpetuating the past here by being indecisive, or not allowing this thing to get unblocked by facing the fear. So they're very held back. This is potentially being very held back, and we need to know when we can move forward and speak our truth and take action on truth. So this person might feel tender feelings, you know, and might know that they're worthy of love and feel deep connection here, but to block it, resist it, be held back about it, not be able to express it, be very indecisive about it, and say, well, no, I can't pursue commitment, I can't do this. And so now they carry this heaviness. Page of Wands, yeah, I don't pursue it, I don't explore this side, because this side is foreign to me, and so I just sort of stop here, you know. But now this person can't manifest, and they hit this sort of dead end they've created, because they keep hitting this sort of limitation of the mind, the limitation of the wall, which is really the extent of the trauma that gets to a certain point. It's frozen in time. So let's see if we can get some guidance. You know, like I said, this could be someone you're dealing with, but let's see, what is the guidance here for this person? And guidance, spirits, anything I've missed? What is it that pile 2 is needing to know here? It's going to help. So we have the Page of Pentacles. This is a new opportunity. This is also early stages. Okay, the early stages of the manifestation here. We have the Owl. It's talking about wisdom and understanding. Temperance, the need to heal and to bring balance. And we might need to, yeah, like I feel this person has a heavy imbalance when it comes to allowing themselves to pursue and manifest what could be in their life. And so this person manifests as someone who is very indecisive, and someone who can't manifest like their reality here. They're getting in their own way with the unhealed version of themselves. So they can't show up in a balanced way to connection, you know. It's unfortunate. Yeah, they're stuck in that trauma, stuck in creating 5 swords, the self-sabotage. And so it sabotages people we're in relationship with. And so nobody wins here because of this trauma. Sagittarius energy, the ancestor spirit. So this came out in pile 1. So this is generational traumas potentially that have been passed down, you know, have been learned through time, that we've carried, and we need to heal this thing, Wheel of Fortune. So divinely guided. So why has this situation or this person been sort of reflected in your world? Is to guide you through. Okay, again, if this is your energy, it's like guide you through. The divine is guiding you through healing this ancestral wounding, or this part of your blocked 6 cups in reverse. You know, how to tap into your inner child here who is worthy of love. Like there's a deep understanding here of your birthright to be loved, and to allow yourself to commit to what it is that feels good, and not sabotage it first, and thinking it might leave, or that it might reflect back to you an experience of the past, you know, and not welcoming it. And so we create this imbalance. I can't give, I can't receive, I can't communicate to authenticity, I can't speak how I feel, I can't take action on anything here. And so therefore I don't manifest anything, and it doesn't go from anywhere but early stage, you know, an early stage. It doesn't go anywhere. So it stays in indecision. It doesn't go from a Page of Pentacles to a King of Pentacles. It sort of stays as a potential thing as long as it's unhealed. It stays as an imbalanced thing that is stuck in Five Swords until we move out of this energy. And so this person is being guided to learn about this. This is a divine lesson, you know, and then their life starts to change. The thing starts to become aligned better, and things start to move better in our world. We start to experience giving and receiving and flow states and the blessings of the universe when we're tied to our divinity, knowing that we're worthy of love. But when we stay hanging on to the trauma, and we stay with that fixed understanding within us, fragmented or traumatized, and then it just starts perpetuating into our reality in our present moment. So yeah, this is what this person is going through. Okay, or you or whoever's tapped into here. So pile number 2, this is your reading. I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3. You guys picked the white jasper. And we're looking at a situation or connection that you came here about. And what is it that this person or the situation is teaching you? What's it trying to heal within you? Okay, it could be the energy comes reversed, meaning this could be the person you're dealing with or from a different perspective of your situation, but it should resonate for you, okay? If it doesn't resonate with your intuition, not your pile, don't force it to fit. I cannot tell you what is right or wrong. Only you can do this. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then definitely not your pile. Okay, I'm just reading energy, and as it comes through here, sometimes it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, only to those that it needs to make sense to, and that's fine, even if it's just one person. Okay, so let's take a look at what it is here that, why it is you're exposed to maybe the situation or this person. What are you trying to heal or understand through this experience? So, surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. Okay. And we have health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. All right. And we have game. I'll take word so literal here. And we have a hand that's forcing another hand by the wrist to go into the fire. So it's forcing it into the fire. Force, fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. And we have Shaman of Reflections. Okay. And we have Smoke, 32, or the number 5. 5 is all about conflict, loss, change. Where there's smoke, there is fire. And I see fire here. Okay, and then we have well-deserved reward with the number 9. 9 is all about completion, ends of cycles, and transformation. Also hermit energy. Well-deserved reward. And we have escape. Escape could be gain. Escape. And we have the whirlwind here. Twister, 46, or the number 10 again. So we have 2 10s. So, where was I seeing 10? I thought we had 2 10s. Did we not have a 10? I don't see it anymore. Okay. So, 10 is completion, end of cycle, and transformation. All right, and we have the fault line, number 49. Or 13. 13 is all about transformation again. That's the death card in the tarot. Fault line. Something built on shaky ground, about to give way potentially here. And we have the goose. This could be someone very territorial, protecting its space. Threatened, potentially. And we have 24 Mercury, Saturn energy. Wow, let's read this. This is interesting. So Mercury is a ruling planet for Virgo and Gemini. Saturn, ruling planet for Capricorn. 24. It says, in primitive states, cruel, rigid thinking and speaking lead you to separation, righteousness, and arrogance. Adaptive, commanding, authoritative, and temperate speech and thinking creates possibilities for others to learn and grow. Evolving, you exemplify inspired leadership in your writing, thinking, and speaking. Others are wowed by your capacity for laser-like, impeccable communication. All right, and then we have silence. Card 17. So 17 is the star energy, which is about vision for the future and hopes. It's also strength energy. So Leo energy, ability to know when to be held back and when to move forward, maybe when to speak, when not to speak. You see the moon here. The moon is all about fear, subconscious. Okay, silence could be hermit energy, which we're feeling. So let me sit here with this energy and see what pulls through here, okay? Okay. This feels to me like, remember, this reading isn't for everyone, okay? And this could be someone you're dealing with, but I'm going to read it as you. This feels very matrixy, like very, very much we're so hung up on what people are saying and doing. And it's really dictating our feelings or emotions and everything we're doing here, to the point where we're suffering. What are they going to say? What are they going to do? They did this, they did that, and we're so enthralled with someone else. And so as we continue down this way of being, we feel suffering, and it catches up to us physically, mentally, emotionally. Okay, but Spirit's really showing like you're the captain of your ship. You control your own health here. Okay, spiritual health, mental health, emotional health. And what we need to do is understand that everything is really an illusion here of the mind. So your mind story is dictating what's going on here. So if we start projecting what this person is doing and saying as something here, we feel threatened, only because the mind is threatened. So we need to bring it back to self. We have to bring it back to self if we want to free ourselves from suffering. Nobody can force you to do anything. So we feel intense energy because of someone else here. And so there's a sense of urgency, and there's a sense of chaos, and a sense of feeling ungrounded, and a sense of being thrown about, depending on if this person's nice or mean or likes me or doesn't. And so all this is doing in this connection is providing a mirror to you in order for you to really see what you're perpetuating here. If you feel suffering, ungrounded, thrown about, emotionally driven by what's out there, then Spirit's really saying this is going to perpetuate until we hold the mirror up and say there's something going on within me that I need to understand. And the part of me that I need to understand here is how I'm holding these thoughts, what it is that I'm thinking of self, and what it is that I am doing or saying as a result of that. So if I'm just acting impulsively here based on a reaction, then I'm in programming. I haven't done the work. And so this is giving way here, and it's giving way because I feel like the more we're in this energy, the more we start to create what it is we don't want. We push people away. We might seem very defensive. And so we have more experiences of to be defensive. We have more people showing up, trying to force us to do certain things, or at least pulling certain energies out of us. And so we have to come to an understanding of how do we take agency over our own mind and our own actions without feeling threatened by other people. So we have to tap into this certain place where it's like it doesn't sway me. My fear isn't swaying me. I don't feel like I need to instinctually act or run or say or do anything, because nobody can make you feel this way unless you in your mind have an unhealthy understanding of what that represents, because something's going on the inside. And so we have these unhealthy beliefs that we carry in our mind, and they just need to be examined. And so at first it's difficult, and it's obsessive thinking here, and it keeps popping up because of the inertia of these thoughts for many, many years of doing the exact same sort of mental exercise. And just like a muscle, we need to, create some sort of stop in this momentum of the mind. And the only way to do this is to remind ourselves that this is just a thought, an illusion, and we can have any thought. Okay, we can have really any thought and believe it to be true. It doesn't make it more true. And so we can either feed a thought as the absolute truth, or we could understand that our thoughts are just relative truths based on our own perception. Okay, so everything out there is a reflection of what's going on the inside here. And so I feel like this situation or the circumstance is really showing you, this is your energy, this part of self, so that we can get more regulated, more grounded, not living in chaos and program and reactive mode, in order for us to be more pointed in our actions, in order for us to identify when we are in our defenses, to understand maybe what we carry as fears within that are being projected on the outside. So if I'm fearing something, it elicits some sort of response out of me, but really underneath that, there's some core wound that I need to look at. You know, maybe I have a fear of lack or abandonment. And so when something triggers this, I react in a certain way. I get defensive, or I say certain things or act in certain ways. So I need to know, what are my triggers? What's going on in my subconscious here? Okay, and so we might be avoiding taking a look at self. And so when we start to really put the pressure, the onus on the other person or this circumstance, or we're now victimizing ourselves in some way, we're the victim, we're doing some sort of escaping of the truth, an illusion here, that I have no sort of say here, that this person is controlling my state of being because of how they're doing themselves or behaving themselves here, and so we're very tied to the material world, the matrix world, the 3D world, how this person is behaving. And so I feel like we're experiencing this for us to achieve a state here of being that can only come from within. And we have to reach this state. Okay, we have to really take a look at our thoughts, our actions. And if it's heavily charged at first, it's because of many years of the same sort of behaviors and patterns. So it'll be very difficult at first for us to take a look at this, or slow this mind. And so it's very intense, very obsessive, but we're having to not identify with our thoughts as being part of who we are. The thought is just a function of the body, okay? The thought is going to come, just like your heart beats. You don't tell it when to beat, just like your blood pumps, just like things that are happening in your cells. Okay, it's happening. So your thoughts happen. You're not choosing when to have them, exactly how to have them. They just come. Okay, and so we need to understand that it's going to happen, but we don't need to act or respond or be attached to them or identify with them, because that is what perpetuates this reactionary defensive energy. Okay, so yeah, lots in the subconscious, lots of fears, and we are doing this victim thing because it's difficult to look at self. It's easier to say there's a problem with this person or this situation or this circumstance. I have an understanding that I carry, and so my understanding is right, and so this person or the situation is not reflecting it back to me, so therefore it is wrong. Meanwhile, there is no right or wrong. There is just energy being energy in God's universe. Okay, it's just playing out as it plays out. So we don't need to attach any sort of right or wrong to it, or any sort of understanding that we have based on past experience. We just need to know in the here and the now, how is anything out there like pulling anything from within me, unless I allow it to pull some sort of reaction from me that's unpleasant. Okay, so we could be perpetuating unpleasant conversations, unpleasant situations, get very defensive here. People around us might seem defensive. So, Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. What is it that I'm missing here? for pile 3. They feel like they're a victim at the mercy of other people. And they need to learn that it's really like a game here, you know, because our soul or energy or I am presence or consciousness is untouched. It cannot be manipulated by anyone or anything. Empress, self-love, learning about healthy energetic boundaries, our own self-worth, abundance. The universe is abundant. There is no lack. Okay, there is no lack. So we need to learn about unconditional love of self, unconditional love of others. 6 of Swords in reverse, and the Temperance in reverse. So situations are challenging, and we can't get out if we don't first learn to love self and see the abundance in every situation. See the godlike, divine presence in everything once we see it within self. Okay, the only reason why I don't see it out there is because something within me here isn't seeing it within myself. And so we come imbalanced in situations here, unhealed. And we can't provide a healed, balanced approach. And it creates this tough situation, this stuck situation. So we need to do the work. We need to do the shadow work. We need to understand ourselves. We need to understand, what does abundance mean? You know, what does abundance mean? Is there really abundance? If we don't believe this concept, then we're still in this lack mindset, scarcity mindset, separation consciousness, them versus me. And this is untrue. We're all beautiful beings, divine beings here. Okay, as long as we tap into this beautiful unconditional love of self and conscious awareness that we see it within self, therefore we see it within others. Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, the star, more healing energy. We're getting star energy initially, so Aquarius energy. This is attaining our wish. Okay, the future we desire. Yeah, to manifest the future we desire here, we got to get out of this victim mentality and these situations in which we feel stuck and at the mercy of the situation itself. And we're not. Sagittarius and Aquarius, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Libra, Taurus, the Magician in reverse, Gemini, Virgo, and we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Five of Cups. And the bottom of the deck, and we have the Moon. So the Moon was pulling through. I need to see clearly where we're deceiving self in the subconscious, lots of shadow. And the shadow here is our own relationship with self, providing unconditional love of self, seeing our own self-worth, seeing the divinity in self so that we're able to see it and extend it to others and see situations clearly so we can manifest what it is that we want. Okay, but the block is in the manifestation here. And so I feel like we've experienced suffering, sadness here, especially when it comes to expressing self of love and receiving love. Okay, so we're only ever lacking what it is we are not giving. If we have not experienced unconditional love of self, we cannot give unconditional love to another. It blocks the flow of giving and receiving. So if we really want unconditional love, we really want to be shown love, we have to show it. If we want to be not judged, then we have to not pass judgment. Okay, but I feel like whatever you're experiencing here, I feel is causing suffering because we haven't learned the lesson in self that we need to learn in order to open the door to giving and receiving. There is a block here. And so if we experience block within, it will forever be blocked without. So as above, so below. As within, so without. If I want to manifest something here, such as unconditional love, I have to encompass this in all of my being. I really reflect on this in the subconscious. Take a look at myself. Do I truly believe in all abundance here? Or am I in a scarcity mindset that I could be a victim, that I have to be defensive, that there's a separate being out there, separate from me, that the divine is something out there? No, it's within me. I need to heal this within me so I could show up in a balanced, healed energy, and I could create my stability and manifest what it is I want. And right now I feel there's challenges in the manifestation here. And so we're left feeling, looking at situations in sadness. This person left me, or I'm not getting fulfilled emotionally. Okay, so let's just wrap up this reading for pile number 3. What is it that they're needing to know then? Some more guidance for pile 3. What is it that pile 3 is needing to know? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3, Spirit. Thank you so much for this message. So we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So only way we can manifest working with another, being able to show up in a balanced way here, is to do the work on self, okay? So if others seem like they're not cooperating, or I can't manifest or build or create the thing, it's because I am blocked here. I have a scarcity mindset, a lack mindset here. So it doesn't allow me to show up and work. So I'm underappreciated, I'm not valued, I'm not manifesting or bringing towards me what it is they deserve. So I truly do not see my beauty here. I truly do not see that I am worthy of this. When it's not reflective in my world, it's because something within me is blocking this. Okay, so I feel we don't see our beauty. I feel we're experiencing where we're not being appreciated, where we're not being worked with in a way here that reveals our true divinity here. Knight of Wands and the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords in reverse. So we cannot be free and liberated and move towards our passions when we have one foot in, one foot out. Okay, so if we have any part of us that is in scarcity mindset, I can't completely trust that the divine has all abundance here for me, but I still want to experience the positivity of the universe and all abundant things. We can't have two contradictory beliefs happening here. So either we trust that the universe is all abundant, or we trust that there's scarcity and we got to hang on to every single thing here. Okay, so this is in the mindset. So my thought is that I don't trust, so I can't surrender. And so if I truly trust the universe, I could surrender and let go and go, you know, towards the things that I enjoy. And now I've opened this flow of giving and receiving. But there is a lack of trust here, and it's stemming from heavy anxieties. You know, heavy anxieties of the mind, the overthinking, the thoughts I have on scarcity. So my mind doesn't trust it, you know, but what is the mind? But an action of the body. And so we need to know that the mind is going to have the thoughts, but the true essence and being, the one that takes the action, the one that has the knowing, is the one that can say, I don't need to have a scarcity mindset. I could let go. I could take action in line with surrender. Not to be dictated by my anxieties. Four of Cups in reverse and the King of Cups. Yeah, so I feel like our lesson here, why we're being thrown into the situation, is to experience deep, mature love here. How to give and receive love from the Empress and this King of Cups, okay? This is being able to connect to a certain part of our heart, like the mature space of our heart here, okay? But I feel like we haven't been able to do this and experience this because we've been too concerned with the scarcity and the things here that could go wrong or that have gone wrong, and we tend to mentally talk our way out of this experience. Okay, even though we might feel we want to experience this, everything is reflecting back to us what's going on the inside. I believe some sort of thought that I have of scarcity, or that I'm separate from everyone and everything, and therefore I keep experiencing separation, and that I keep experiencing where I can't connect with this person or this situation in a deep way here. So it just keeps reflecting back the same thing of me, and I keep doing more of the same. I keep hanging on, and I keep reliving this vision I have of what it means to experience love. And so because this is the only way I know, I keep perpetuating that, and I'm blocking it. And so I don't create the thing. And Spirit is saying we have to now shift how we're engaged here, pull it in a way to say, I got to know that my mind and my thoughts are having one sort of understanding. And so even though it might be heavily charged, I don't have to hang on to or stick to that. I don't have to be defensive. I just observe how I'm engaged here. Okay, because there's something here you're supposed to be creating or manifesting once you understand this or achieve this sort of understanding. Okay, once you accomplish this thing, it'll get you out of this state, because I feel like we can't experience a true emotional heart space of unconditional love and bliss if we're in a miserly sort of energy of ours, okay, and thinking the worst, or feeling separate from the universe or from other people here, if they pull away, or if we have like anxious attachment style. Okay, so this is what I have, pile number 3. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 4, you guys picked the glass paperweight with the control trap bubbles. let's take a look at the connection you came here about, or this experience you came here about, and what is the main lesson trying to show you? Is it something that's trying to heal within you or get you to understand? What is the purpose, okay, of this connection or that experience or situation that you're having to learn or see a greater truth here about yourself or the situation? So, like I mentioned in the intro, this isn't everyone's reading. This might be triggering. Okay, so if it isn't your message, it's not going to make sense and you'll be scratching your head. Okay, if you scratch your head, it's not your reading. So it's up to you and the divine to know how to navigate your intuition. Okay, I can't do that for you. So if it doesn't make sense, then most likely you can go check out another pile or just another reader altogether here. If this sounds like energy you're dealing with, your situation, it could be crisscross. You'll have to make sense who is what. Okay, but I am just reading energy as I see it here. Okay, so surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. All right, white horse trotting backwards. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Okay, and we have expert. Wow. Take words so literal here, but maybe there's a deep understanding of something here. And we have this abstract card, kind of looks like a fisherman or someone at the seashore. Okay. And we have the shaman of courage. And we have Chiron, number 11. So Chiron could be the planet of our traumas and past experiences and need to heal certain aspects. Okay, and then we have the crown chakra, number 7. Wow, crown chakra. And we have love. Wow. And we have earth. And we have the dog, or number 14, could be temperance energy. Sagittarius, balance, healing. Dog could be loyalty, friendship. We have the father energy, masculine energy, the dark and the light. Number 2. 2 is about balance. It's also about duality, choices, partnership, father energy. And then we have the crab. So Cancer energy here. Crab. And we have Sun in Uranus. Let's read the book, see what messages come through with the primitive, adaptive, and evolving in this book. So in the primitive state, it says you'll disrupt everything, throw a tantrum, build a wall, blow it all up. You're the chief havoc creator, and everyone just sees, and everyone just needs to get out of your way. Adaptive, you seek to improve the world you see before you through invention and innovation. Evolving, you live to serve a vision of a greater humanity in which all things are improved through the richness of and diversity of the collective imagination. Okay, and then we have understanding. Wow, 2 doves. Actually, more doves here. Yeah, lots of doves. Peace, collective peace. Wow, okay, let me tap into this energy, pile number 4. And you can click straight away on the channeling of the message. Okay, beautiful people. I really like this energy. This is a spiritually evolved pile here, okay? But maybe it hasn't always been the case here. So I feel like whatever your situation is going on here is in order for you to connect with the divine, but to also find a balance between what you manifest here in the earthly plane. You know, and so I know sometimes we can talk about the divine and it being the relative truth versus the objective truth, which is, you know, the absolute universe and our conscious being, which is energy, and then that which sort of is transient, like the body or what sort of manifests here on earth, that cycles out, okay, but we're finding a balance between what's going on in the spiritual world here and bringing it back to manifestation on earth, okay, because I feel like this experience you're having with this person or this situation is for you to be able to find a balance here on earth, be able to bring certain aspects of divinity here on earth in order to create and manifest certain things and give it life. Okay, so I feel like there's an inner self here that's absolutely sensitive and imaginative and that can create, and there's having to tap into the divine in order to bring and manifest from the ethers here into this earthly plane, and to do it in a way that's very balanced. And so I feel like we've had to go through some suffering. We've had to go through understanding our shadow self and our pains and transmuting these pains. And so maybe we were guarded or defensive or having to connect with the inner self through piercing through some of our defenses or a defensive wall, or keeping people out, through a deeper layer of understanding. And so when we extend forgiveness, when we are able to rise above, when we're able to show peace, and we're able to show humility, when we're able to encompass unconditional love, regardless of what others are doing around us, despite what we've experienced and what we've suffered, then we're bringing the divine down here to earth, showing how to provide unconditional love, even though we might have experienced suffering, even though we might have experienced situations that could have been very painful and difficult, So I feel like you're learning about loyalty of self, you're learning about peace, you're learning about ascension here, but I feel like it's not only about you, but it's like an example to the collective consciousness here, which is taking a lot of courage. It's taking a lot to come into this sort of understanding and being humble enough to know we don't know anything. So in the earthly plane, we might have one understanding, and so we could reach sort of a peak within the matrix of, or ceiling. I've manifested maybe wealth, or I've manifested enough for me to understand that there needs to be something deeper and more spiritual with more meaning here that transcends this earthly plane that I can connect to. Otherwise I'm just sort of this 3D body that's just sort of living these motions. And so I feel like we've really connected to this multidimensional space here in order for us to integrate this understanding here. Okay, but I feel like we don't know anything at all when we tap into divine nature and multidimensional things, because it's forever going with the universe. There's forever things that we need to uncover, or that we are uncovering, that might not make a whole lot of sense here in the earthly plane. So I feel like this might have started with a need to really let go and change how we engage in the world. And it might have started very difficult, and it might still be difficult to let go of the world we know, the relationships we know, the job we created, the stability we created, the friendships we created, the thing in the earthly plane we're attached to. So this is all about not attaching, not identifying, releasing, and connecting with the authentic self that is liberated, conscious being, free of all attachment, in order to create and manifest this beautiful energy, And so this beautiful energy is free. This beautiful energy is peace on earth. This beautiful energy is pure consciousness. This beautiful energy is one that is able to manifest here and become sort of a master manifester, because we know that we're the creator here, and that there is no limitation. The only limitation is as much as we put on the imagination. So if you can imagine it, you can manifest it. And so I feel like this is what this experience is showing you, to not put any limitation on the imagination. And so maybe in the past, there's been a lot of challenges and situations that we've had to really look at in the shadow self and heal, because it was creating limitations on what we could manifest, we felt incapable potentially of manifestation, or the world was reflecting back to us some sort of limitation, but it was just reflecting the state of being in which we were in. And so I feel like this connection is shedding some light, is allowing us to be more balanced. It's allowing us to integrate shadow parts of selves in order for us to be spiritually balanced here, but mostly to create here on earth, whatever you're creating, because for all of us it's something different. And I feel like really we don't need the special thing to create it, all we need is the right energy. I think this is what we're learning, is like, what energy do I need to be in order to manifest? Because again, there is no limitation. And so if my energy isn't in the highest vibration of manifestation, and then I'm just not going to create my reality. So I feel like this is you coming into this beautiful energy of realization that if we're guarded and defensive and shutting things out and living from trauma, then this is what we experience more of. And so if we are courageous enough to dive into the shadow, to heal the wounds, to look at self from more of a balanced perspective, now we can create and be the creators of our own sort of reality here. And that we don't need anyone or anything except for a conscious awareness here to provide true liberation. Okay, so I feel like we've had to be very loyal to self, but I feel like we've also had to show our loyalty to others during maybe very difficult times. Maybe forgiveness, forgiveness of others, showing peace, being an example of what it is to love, what it is to be forgiving, what it is to stand behind whatever, maybe certain people who might have been a part of our trauma in the past, but seeing the divinity in these people in order to move on. So the Hierophant, our way of life. So for this pile, I feel like it's really changing what it was I was committed to, how it was that I was living my life, what it was I was paying maybe my devotion to, or my homage to, or how I was perceiving, I don't know, my understanding of the spiritual world, or what I understood to be true. It impacted every aspect of my life. Certain dogmas I had, certain beliefs, certain social constructs that maybe had to fall away or be understood here. And so I had to trust and allow these changes to happen in order for things to really shift here. So we have Taurus energy, spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4. What is it that they're needing to know about why they are in this situation, or why they've met this person or this experience, this thing? What is it they're healing, understanding, reflecting on, or needing to experience? So I have 10 cups. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse, and 8 wands. So we're truly liberated, I feel here, we're breaking through the ceiling of the matrix. So any limitation we had in the earthly plane of what we could achieve, what was possible, there is no limitation. There is no limitation. And so I feel like we're able to reach a beautiful state of euphoria here, utopian future here, of emotional happiness. Once we understand where we pay our devotion to, or how we live our life, or what we consider our belief systems. Empress in reverse. And we've had to really sit with understanding about our own self-love and our own self-worth, and where it was that we were traumatized, where we weren't allowed to tap into a certain part of self that could free itself from any limitation, so that it knew it's worthy of unconditional love. Because I feel like the old lifestyle was really blocking a 10 cups, or this unconditional love of self and of others. As we know, when we unconditionally love self, we can give it to others. If we don't, then there's a block. We don't experience or receive it. 2 wands, so the choice is ours, and we could choose the wand of the same old, or we can lean into the courageous wand with the courage, the path less traveled, and not be fearful of change, and pursue the second wand here. Okay, the Hangman, see things differently. Okay, this is us reflecting, working with the divine, becoming enlightened, seeing things completely different. And so I feel like maybe some of you guys have had a period of pause, having to really reflect, what do I value? What do I commit to here? My family structure, my family, my upbringing, my tradition, my beliefs, everything. Just turn on its access. because now I'm really having to look at it. It never allowed me to feel fully loved, or it's never really allowed me to experience full abundance here. It's limited me. And so now my only limitation is that of my imagination and that of the divine. Really tapping into this beautiful psychic energy as well. 8 Pentacles. So where am I committing myself and dedicating my time in the earthly plane? Because it's a reflection of really what we believe. So we can't say, yeah, I believe in the divine, and yeah, I believe in all these things, but really I'm putting my energy into something here that doesn't reflect my beliefs. You know, like if we believe that there is no scarcity, but yet we're pouring into something here that we don't enjoy and say, well, it pays my bills, then we're just keeping the scarcity mindset alive. So I feel like there's something here we're needing to tweak, and we're working through tweaking. Where is it that I'm dedicated? You know, if I stay with a situation here, then I'm like, well, I can't separate from this understanding of my religion. Although I have this, I don't know, this understanding within me and the divine, but in the material world, I'm still going to this church, you know, or I'm still practicing, I don't know, like this Catholic religion. But on the side, I'm like telling myself something else. Like there's a contradiction here, because I feel like we're really needing to review what it is we're dedicating our time and our energy and our efforts towards, that needs to reflect what it is we truly devote ourselves to and believe. 4 of Cups and the Emperor. I have the Empress and the Emperor here. So I'm really getting this sort of balance of the dark and the light, you know, and Father energy is Emperor energy. So I feel like we're learning to be empowered. We're learning to come into balance of our masculine and our feminine. Okay, and we might have been a doer here, and our feminine might have been blocked. How do I receive? How do I trust the universe to be all abundant? Because I feel like what I'm reading for this person might have been, I don't know, maybe a workaholic, maybe somebody who said, like, proof is in the pudding. I gotta chase the material thing or live in this material world, make shit happen, you know. But now we're just telling the universe, I believe in scarcity. I believe that it's not an all abundant universe here. And so now we have a shift of perspective, saying, okay, if I truly believe and devote myself to the divine here, I need to shift how I'm engaged in the world here and what I believe, you know, that I truly trust in manifestation here, and allow the universe to make it happen by truly surrendering here. True devotion. Yeah, move out of my 5 swords. So whatever situation I feel this person, your energy's been in, is really to move you out of any limiting experience in order to reach a full level of manifestation. Heal any sort of wounds, limiting thoughts, beliefs, systems, structures that we've carried, okay, and it resulted in us taking action in our world that might have been supporting these beliefs and these pains, okay. And sometimes it's very subconsciously that we're carrying these actions and these decisions we make. We don't realize it's because of our conditioning. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. Spirit, can we wrap up this message? What is it that Pile 4 is needing to know? Any guidance, any advice, anything I've missed? So, things were blocked in the material world, and I think we hit a ceiling, like I said, in the material world. 6 Pentacles. Yeah, we couldn't receive any more abundance here or give to something here, because I feel like it was a perpetual stuck block. Like we hit a ceiling in the material pentacle realm. So now we've opened up to this divine realm of unlimited potential and manifestation. So now our physical is slowly shifting. We're slowly shifting, but we might still be hanging on to certain things in our world, in the material world, because it's all we've ever known. And so I think this is what we're working through. Letting go. Liberating ourselves. The Knight of Cups and the 6 Wands. So this is true expression of how we feel. 6 Wands is all about the victory, you know, and it's also my ego card here. So we might need to find a healthy balance between maybe what it is that we want to be perceived as by others. You know, we want to be seen in some certain way. So we start to I don't know, we emotionally sort of invest in certain areas, but what's our authentic expression, and our authentic feelings and emotions need to be expressed, not from an ego place, but from true authenticity. Two of Wands, the choice is ours again to make this decision down that path. Eight of Pentacles again. Same message, Three Swords. This is this Chiron energy, healing, past pains, because we'll experience the blockage in the heart unless we allow ourselves to fully surrender and heal these blocks of this experience, okay? Four Swords in reverse and the Eight Wands again. So a lot of you guys might have been in a retreat with the Hangman and this Four Swords, okay? We need enough time to sit with the great truths, to reflect on pains of the past in order to heal whatever blocks we have. And I feel like the Spirit is really showing the choice is ours. Where we dedicate and commit ourselves in this earthly plane? Is it representative of our spiritual vision? What we really commit to and dedicate to? You know, or are we still giving to a situation that is a dead-end block that's not going to manifest? We're not going to receive anything further here except for perpetuate the same thing, which is creating our suffering. And so we need to sort of move out of this energy, you know, speak our truth, show our truth, be in line with how we truly feel, you know. But I feel ego gets in the way here. So it's really identifying the ego self that wants to impress or wants to appear in a certain way for other people. Doesn't allow us to move forward, doesn't allow us to communicate truth or be authentic with our expression of emotions. Queen of Swords. So this is us getting very clear, very certain about our direction, you know, where we want to go and our understanding. And I feel like once our Hierophant is in line, we have direction, we have a vision and an understanding of where we want to go. But I feel like we need to understand through this experience, we gain the wisdom of the Queen of Swords. And I feel like we were very limited in the material world to something we were dedicating or committing ourselves to that can no longer go down that road or that path. We have no choice but to lean into this wand of change, which is a process, you know. But the Queen of Swords is ready to take that sort of change or take that leap of faith, because this is the only way for things to move forward and to break free here, you know, be truly liberated. So this is what I have, pile number 4. I hope this helped you, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye.